Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the most fascinating stories around the world, taking a look at the dangerous satanic sects around the world. We embark on a journey through opulence and grandeur. Prepare to be blown away. The sect is an organization united by an internal ideology. All its members are strictly adhered to strict internal rules. The adept of the sect loses an adequate perception of the world and the ability to think critically. He becomes a puppet in the hands of unscrupulous and cunning leaders. In some cases, this leads to terrible consequences: suicide and murder. Some of the sects from our rating have already ceased to exist. Others continue to thrive, extracting millions of profits from the broken lives of people. Within the organization is a rigid hierarchical structure. The circle of communication of the sectarian is limited to brothers and sisters. Witnesses tear up all ties with the outside world. They stop contacting their loved ones and leave their families. It is not uncommon for the Jehovah's Witnesses, in circumvention of their next of kin, to bequeath all their property to the organization. Here are the most dangerous satanic sects in the world. Temple of Nations. This sect is recognized as the most terrible in history. It was created in 1955 by the American preacher Jim Johnson, who apparently has serious problems with the psyche and considers himself the incarnation of Jesus, Lenin, and Buddha. Nevertheless, he managed to create a huge religious organization uniting people of different races and nationalities. In 1977, members of the sect built a Johnstown settlement in Guyana, where Johnson and his flock soon settled. Later, it turned out that it was a real religious concentration camp. People worked 11 hours a day, were subjected to cruel punishments, and actually were Johnson's slaves, which became increasingly inadequate. November 18, 1978, 909 members of the sect, including more than 200 children, carrying out the order of their abnormal leader, committed mass suicide by taking cyanide potassium. The investigation succeeded to establish that first the poison mixed with the grape drink was given to the children, then adults drank it. Those who refused poison were forced to take it by force. Many corpses found traces of injections. Johnson himself was shot. Aum Shinrikyo. Aum Shinrikyo is a sect founded by the Japanese Seiko Asahara and incorporating elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, yoga, and the prediction of Nostradamus. Members of the sect lived in anticipation of an atomic war, as a result of which the whole world was to perish. As in other organizations of this kind, donations were encouraged here, and the total surveillance of sect members flourished one by one. Aum Shinrikyo got a notorious fame on March 20th, 1995, when several of her followers sprayed a poisonous sarin gas in the Tokyo metro. As a result of this terrorist attack, 12 people were killed and more than 6,000 were injured. The perpetrators of the terrorist act, as well as the founder of the sect, Seiko Asahara, were arrested and sentenced to death. Many of the circumstances of the case are classified, and it is not entirely clear what for, in fact, a terrorist attack was being launched. Presumably, Asahara, who has a morbid self-esteem, wanted to draw attention to himself and leave a trace in history, while others only blindly fulfilled his will. The Gates of Paradise. The sect was founded by two crazy Marshall Appletel and Bonnie Nettles who, after seeing each other, shared the consciousness of esoteric mysteries. The couple decided that they are the chosen ones whose mission is to fulfill the Bible prophecies. They also believed that they would be killed and then resurrected, and a certain spaceship would take them to paradise. Thanks to the oratorical skill and the charisma of Applewith, the Gates of Paradise had followers who believed in this nonsense. After Nettles' death, Applewhite went completely mad. In 1997, a message appeared about the approach of Comet Hale-Bopp to Earth, and some joker wrote on the internet that there was a spaceship on the comet's tail. Applewhite realized that this ship had come after him and his followers, and Nettles was waiting on board. He ordered all members of the sect to collect suitcases, take huge doses of sleeping pills and drink them with vodka. Thus, 39 people died, including Applewhite himself. Order of the Temple of the Sun. This terrible sect was founded in 1984 by the Belgian homeopath Dr. Luc Jouret and businessman Joseph Di Mambro. The sect's teaching was that the Earth is moving inexorably towards the apocalypse, and it is possible to be saved only one way: to move to the planet Sirius, where life is beautiful and eternal. However, it is possible to get to Sirius only after self-immolation. In 1994-1997, 74 adepts of the sect, including founders and members of their families, were found dead in Switzerland, France, and Canada. Some people committed suicide, others, those who refused to lay hands on themselves, were killed. Among the dead were small children, including babies. In their will, members of the sect wrote, "We leave this world with inexpressible joy. People, do not mourn us. Better think about your own destiny. Let our love accompany you in the terrible trials that will fall to your lot at the time of the apocalypse." The Manson family, commune. Family was organized in the 60s by the maniac Charles Manson. He imagined himself a prophet and predicted that soon there would be an apocalyptic war between the white and black races, in which the blacks would win. His wards, mostly unhappy teenagers who broke with their families, unquestioningly submitted to their idol. In 1969, the members of the family committed several inexplicable and eerie murders of innocent people. Among the 9 victims are the 26-year-old actress Sharon Tate, the wife of the director Roman Polanski. The fanatics broke into the actress's house and dealt with her and her guests. And then they wrote the word pig on the wall with the blood of the victims. Sharon, who was 9 months pregnant, inflicted 16 stab wounds. Her immediate killer is Susan Atkinson, a loyal fan of Manson. At the time of the murder, 20-year-old Atkinson was the mother of an 1-year-old child. For the organization of violent crimes, Manson was sentenced to life imprisonment. At the time of the trial, the death penalty was abolished in California. Now he is 82 years old, and he is still in prison. Scientologists. Scientologists are a powerful international sect giant with huge appetites. According to experts, the daily income of the organization is several $million. The sect was created in 1953 by the American Ron Hubbard. He came up with a rather complicated and confusing teaching, which in short amounts to the fact that the physical world will be destroyed, but you can be saved. According to the doctrine, each person has a thetan, an immortal spiritual entity living outside the physical world. If you learn how to operate with your thetan, which is what Scientology teaches, you can live forever. This is one of the main postulates of Scientology. He who easily parted with money, he easily receives them. Scientologists consider themselves to be superhumans. Others are flawed. They have absolutely no adequacy in the perception of the world. According to psychiatrists, members of this sect need a particularly long rehabilitation, munitis. The sect was founded in the 1950s by a Korean named Sanmen Moon. He declared himself the Messiah, whom God sent to Earth to save people and cleanse them from filth, for the whole human race is the fruit of the sinful bond of the first woman of Eve with the serpent. In many countries, the sect is recognized as destructive, since people who join the organization are essentially turned into slaves, skillfully brainwashing them. Adepts do not sleep, spending nights in prayers, living in poverty and unsanitary conditions, making regular donations, while members of the Moon family just bathe in luxury. At the time of his death in 2012, 92-year-old Moon was a billionaire. According to numerous studies, the sect's teaching has a very negative effect on the state of the psyche of adepts. They have frequent depressions, neuroses, and even severe mental illnesses. And because they avoid seeking medical help, these problems are only exacerbated. The percentage of suicides among witnesses is several times higher than among people who are not members of the sect. Children, whom Jehovah's parents attach to their faith, grow socially unadapted and become slaves of the sect for life. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you all liked it. Please subscribe, like, and share our videos.